Now, this is a long one, but trust me, it's gonna be good. Stay tuned.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it.
Hello, lovelies, and welcome back to another Nine Lux Nails video. Today, I have my handy dandy practice hand here. First of all, let's start by the obvious. My girl needs a little surgery. Her pinky has split. I have been using her to the bone. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need to get a new one, but we are going right into this set. I have gone ahead and based my tips with a little nude color from Beetles Brand Gel Polish. It's just a cover nude color, nothing particular. I just found this specific color, and then I'm going in with this sculpting gel that I have been seeing the girls work with, and y'all told me to wear gloves, but it's sticking to the gloves. Oh my god, this was so hard to work with. I definitely had to learn the technique, because why would I use gloves and it's sticking to me like this? I probably went through about 3 pair of gloves on this set because they were so sticky. Oh my god. But yes, I'm going in and creating my first flower petal, learning how to work with this stuff, girl, and oh my god, it's so soft and moldable, but it does not move. So wherever you apply it and push it and put it, it stays just like that. And it's so moist. I will use moist because it did not dry out. It did not do anything besides what I told it to do. So it is very easy to use, but you just have to learn the technique. So I'm just learning, like I've been using this stuff forever and I have not, but I'm going in and creating the petal that I want to see. I did have a little reference picture that I found on Pinterest. So I was like, let's do a freestyle with this reference picture. So I'm just going in and trying to sculpt this sculpting gel into a flower. So I will be working with my first 2 petals, and then I'm going to cure that and then work on my second petals. So one thing I did learn while using this sculpting gel is you have to use a rubber tool. So I did try to use a cuticle pusher as well as a dotting tool, just to see what materials responded to this particular sculpting gel, and it's very much a rubber or silicone tool. So I do have about 3 different silicone tools with different heads on it. So I will be using this gel to create future designs, especially on my clients. That's why I wanted to learn it first on this practice hand, because I do only allow a certain amount of time for my clients and I don't want to practice during their set. So I did this design on this practice hand, and normally when I do a practice hand design, I do just sit her up for display. Once my clients come through the door, they will see her, and everybody has oohed and awed over this particular design. Once you get to the end, well, you probably see from the thumbnail as well, but they love the 3D flowers, so it's a go. I'm going to start trying to add a little flower or 3D touch to my client's nails. So yes, now I'm working on the other petal. That first one is a little bit smaller, but that's okay because it is my first one. But I'm one of them ones, I'm just going to follow through. I'm not going to scratch it. It is just nails. I know I take it so serious, but I don't want it to stress me out. Okay, so this ball I did go in a little bit larger, and it does not take a lot. So that's one thing I learned as well. The only thing that the larger bead will do is make the design appear thicker, but you still will get the same effect with a smaller ball. But I was assuming the nail is so long, maybe I need bigger balls. So I'm just going in, and the flower petals are not going to be identical. I'm just making sure they still look like a part of the same flower. So just a little push here, a little drag there. I'm trying to make sure I have some highs and lows, some depths, because that's what make this particular design look its best, is having that little ripple and movement and everything looking very realistic. So after I finish these two petals, I'm going to give her a flash cure, and then we'll work on two more petals. But so far, it's very easy to use, minus the gloves, because even at certain points, because this top petal is not cured and I'm not being mindful of my hand actually touched just a little bit of the petal and it dragged the entire petal outward, like just the gloves sticking to it. So the rubber or the silicone tool that I'm using doesn't stick to it like the gloves do. So yeah, it was definitely a learning process. But I think it looks super cute. Even if I left it clear, it's giving the effect that I was looking for. But the polish makes it look 10 times better. So we will follow through with this design. So I did my flash cure and now I'm able to go in with another blob. And I did see someone say, so for this one, yes, I'm going to try to split it between the last two petals because it is a very large bead. But because this is so moldable, I am able to split it. And someone said a helpful tip is allowing your design to go off the sides of the nail. So I was like, perfect. The other two petals will go off the sides of the nail just a little bit. And once this stuff cured, it cured very hard. So I wasn't mad at that. I do love that it cures very solid. So even if I did leave a portion of the design over the edge, I don't have any fear that it will break or snag or anything like that. So I'm just working with this. Now it does have a little weight to it because it continued to droop down. But before I cured it in the LED light, I did make sure to lift the petals up just a little bit and then go in and flash cure. So you're going to see me struggle. I'm going to let you watch me just mold this little molding gel to my final two petals, and then we'll move on to the other fingers. And I know I'm doing the hard work for you guys. Many of you that are nail techs or aspiring nail techs may have never used this type of medium before, which is this moldable um, 3D gel. So if you have any questions, concerns, or anything, leave them in the comments, and I will be sure to link this particular molding gel that I'm using as well as the silicone brushes. I will have them linked in the description box for you all. So now my main flower is complete from the recording of this video. That took me about 10 minutes to complete altogether. So you can have an idea of how long that took. And I did not cut anything out of the video. So it just took that amount of time for that particular flower. And now, because I love my motion in my sets, y'all know nothing is ever the same over here unless we specify that that's what we want. So I'm going in and just doing 2 petals off of the side of the nail and just going to create. So now y'all see I'm working with 2 beads because I think I'm a professional at this point. Like, oh, we know how to make petals. I'll crack myself up, y'all, because not I'm doing 2 petals at one time. Like, I just know what I'm doing. Oh my God. And I was still struggling, but I'm one of them ones, like, I'm just going to test myself and try it out. So, girl, be fearless with this stuff, you know? So I'm just doing my 2 little petals, having fun with it. And I actually did have a ton of fun with this. Like, I can't wait to give this to one of my clients. And she's like, oh my God, girl, this is my best set ever. This year, I have been getting that so much. So it just speaks to my soul because one of my prayers and daily affirmations is that I continue to stay in my creative bag and give my clients something new. I take pride in giving them their best set yet. So this year, I have been getting from my 3 and 4 year clients, this is my best set yet. And they say that every time, but if they continue to say that, that means I'm continuously getting good. So yeah, clock it. So, when you're in a creative field, such as being a nail tech or even a makeup artist or hairstylist, don't just stop at the one thing that you know you can do, that you love. Of course, it's going to sell itself, but you still want to catch the eye of someone new every month, mostly. Every week, or I'll say every other week, I'm still getting new clients. So you still want to catch the eye of prospective clients because not everyone has seen your work yet. So don't stop at just what you are good at. Continue to test yourself and know that you want to do better, you will get better, and you will reach more people. And with saying that, I do want to appreciate you all. Thank y'all so much. My channel has reached 6,600 subscribers. That is crazy to me, because I'm just trying to be consistent and really do the work. I love you guys for the feedback. I love the positive affirmations that you give, even allowing me to be your inspiration. And you guys are taking, I'm going to recreate your set, and every single time you guys recreate anything I do, I want to see it, because not only am I trying to create new designs for us as a nail community. Some people say, I'm going to redo this and I'll give you credit. I don't need the credit. I just want you to do it and get it right and be good at it, because any design that is placed into the social media universe is for all of us to take inspiration from. So nothing is ever mine. I'm doing this for us. So again, I just want to say thank you for believing in me and feeding me and allowing me to continue to show you guys everything I know when it comes to nails. So I'm off of my little soapbox and back to the nails. I have sculpted these 2 petals, and I'm not going to gloss past my struggle. I know y'all saw me struggling with that little I told y'all the petal, when this stuff stick to anything, oh my God, it's stuck. Like, now I gotta redo the whole petal dang near because it almost pulled it off. But it's so sticky, but I still love it. So we followed through. The motion in the set is here. I did those 2 petals towards the bottom of the nail, and it's just a half of a petal. Well, 2 petals, half of a flower, I'm gonna say that. So once I do those 2 petals on the 2 remaining fingers, I'm not going to add flower because I don't want to oversaturate this set with flower. I'm only going to apply some cute little leaves to add some greenery, because it is greenery on my inspo picture. So I'm going to get that flash cured, and then we'll work on some smaller little leaves. Now for the leaves, I am learning my portion control because I'm realizing, okay, you don't need the biggest bead in the house. Just a little bit goes a long way. And at this point, that is when I learned that little lesson. So I'm going in and just creating some cute little flowers, not flowers, leaves to accompany my flowers. So I'm going to put one leaf here, and on the two opposite fingers I will have leaves as well, and I just feel like it will add and tie that greenery into the set. So on my middle finger, I put that little leaf at the top of my flower. And now for that motion with the green, I drop these leaves down to the bottom. And on my last finger, those leaves will go in the center just to complement the top of that other flower. So I do be mindful of where I am placing everything. I know it's going on clear, but I know I'm going to paint everything and make sure I spread that color out. And the leaves are not as hard. I'm just making sure I do a line straight down the center and then create some little branches on the outer side just to give that 3D leaf effect. Okay, and I got her cured, and now I'm working on the very last little petal here. And like I said, I'm putting her at the top just so that above my full large flower I can still get a little greenery. So that's just how my mind works, to make sure that when you look at the set straight on, you see everything and it's not jumbled in the center of the nails, nor is it jumbled like just at the bottom of the nails, weighing them down, making them look heavy. I like everything to flow. Okay, girls, so 23 minutes later, we have gotten all of our 3D completed, and I have gone ahead and gotten out all of the colors that I will be using in this set. So I'm just going to get right started with the polishing. I do have my reference picture, so I'm just going to go in and try to make it match the picture. But one of the helpful tips when doing 3D flowers is to make sure, yes, you want to use multiple colors, but you want to go from a darker color and have the center of your flower or whatever you're making a little bit lighter. So I am using a variation of colors, but I did want to go and apply this blue on the outer side, and I'm just working it down so it does not have to go in each and every little crack and crevice, um, but making sure that I apply it on the petals. So I'm just going to go around every petal, fan out this blue color, get her flash cured, and then go in with more color. So it will be a little ombre effect. I know I'm going to mix some of the colors in together while they're still wet. So just stay tuned and let's see how this turns out. But for now, I'm just using this blue color on the outer edge. And without flash curing, I'm just going in with a little bit of the purple and making it ombre down into the next color. So it's not perfect. I'm just going in and dotting it into that blue and just making it all merge together. And yes, you guessed it, we're going in with our next color, just a little bit of orange to add a little more contrast. And these are the actual colors that are on my reference picture, so I'm not coming off the top of my head with it per se, but I am making sure that on my reference picture, I am spotting each and every little detail so that I can make it look as realistic as possible. And actually, it's just bringing this flower right to life. Like, I love how this is looking already. And now I'm going to go in with the final color, this hot pink, and I'm just going to put it right in the center. So as you can see, it's just building up and moving outward, and you still see all the different colors, but they work together so well. I love it. Now I went in and did a flash cure on this set. Now I can go in and add a little more detailing. So one thing you want to do is make sure that you're building up the nail. Of course you can leave it like that, but I really want it to look realistic like a flower. So I'm making sure I don't miss any of the details that I see on the picture. And they do have this little bit of yellow where the orange and pink meets, just to give it an added 3D pop. And y'all know my favorite thing to say, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And after curing her, I'm going to go in and do the exact same thing for my shorter flower that I did. Exact same colors, exact same method, exact same everything as I did the first one. So stay tuned. And now that she is complete and flash cured, we're going to go in with two different colored greens. So I'm going to use the darkest green as the majority of the leaves, and then I'm just going to go in and add a lighter green to add some contrast and also movement, and just add highs and lows from a leaf's perspective. In the picture I just saw that extra detail, so you could have went in with just one single color, but we want to add a luxe touch to everything, so I'm not just going to do it regular, we're going to follow all the way through with all the deets. And as you can see, that neon green just added an exotic touch to the leaves. It just makes it look more tropical and foresty and just real. I love it. And after doing my flash cure, I'm just going to go in and do the exact same thing with my other leaves. Okay, now that I have completed the majority of the color, I did want to go in and build up on the main flower and just give her a little more center work because it just looked a little flat. So I'm going to go in and just build up a center area and also put the polyp. I think it's a polyp. I haven't been to school in a number of years. I'm not going to tell y'all how long, but it's been a long time. But I think the center of a flower is a polyp. I'm not sure. If you know, if you're an educator or you just know, then leave it in the comments. Help me help us. So at this point, I'm just playing around with the molding gel and trying to create the center of a flower. I want it to look a little bit on the 3D side. When you look at it directly on, you can't see it because I don't have polish on it, but it's definitely giving what I wanted it to give. So I'm just going in and creating a little area of thickness, and then I'll go in and polish it as well. Now with polishing the center, I did not want to add any blues or purples. I am using the same hot pink, and then I'm going in with a pink that is just a little bit darker, as well as just a little black to add a little depth into the center. And I'm also going to create a little stem. I don't know if that's a polyp, y'all. I really need to Google it and make sure I'm saying the right word, but the center portion of the flower where the bees and animals get the pollen from. I believe it's a polyp. Let me Google it. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I looked on Google, and for the most part, I think I'm kind of right, but it's not exactly saying it because it was a rough research, but we called it a polyp. I'm not going back to change it. So yeah, we're gonna make this little design. I'm just gonna roll out a little flat surface and then flatten it a little bit, and I don't know what exactly I was doing, but it worked for what I was doing it for. So I created this little center polyp that feeds the bees and the birds and whatever comes to get the pollen from the flower. So I'm just going to create this little thing on the back of nothing. Is very dry, and I wanted it to be able to pull off this once I flash cure it, because I could not make it just standing straight up. So I did that little stem, and then I'm going to go in and just push in and flatten it and make it look a little textured on the tip, and that's about it. And then we'll get it stuck onto our larger flower, and I'm going to paint her as well. So I put just a little bit of gel in the center, and then I'm going to place my hardened little thing that I've created, and I'm going to place her right in the center, and then we'll get that painted. Now I'm just going in with a yellow, also the orange that I used, and then just a little bit of red to add a little dimension so that I can still get that texture showing on this actual little thing we've created that comes out of the flowers. So I thought that was a cute little extra touch, and it actually made the nail look a little bit spicy, if I must say so myself. And now I'm just adding a little black so it can show a little depth in the center. Not too much, I'm just squiggling it on to give it the appearance that it's hollow. So I'm pretty much complete with this set. I'm just going in and adding a little white as well as a little yellow and green to add a little more raised appearance to this flower, so that white just makes it pop a little more. And then on top of the white, I'm going to apply green or yellow and just make it a little bit more detailed. And from the reference picture, you can see that I nailed this set. They turned out so super cute, and I did go ahead and add some colorful pearl drops as well. If you want to show this set some love, then you already know to follow my socials.